Hello, my name is Sushma and we are going to do a live video today on something that is very close to my heart, and that is building resilience. Over the last several years, inspired by many people out there, the Weston A. Price Foundation, the people the permaculturists, and looking at the effect of industry pollution on our lives, more and more Richard and I have taken our food sources, sourcing of our food into our own hands, growing our own food, doing our own stuff. And it comes at a bit of a price in that you have to actually learn a lot of skills that you probably as an office worker, reading stuff on Facebook never had, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it to learn to cook. It's well worth it to learn to garden. It's well worth it to do a little bit of carpentry, learn a little bit about composting, learn a little bit about permaculture, and learn a little bit about homeopathy. Why homeopathy? Why homeopathy? Because a lot of you, many Americans, don't have health insurance. Health insurance only covers doctors and hospitals. Doctors and hospitals only prescribe steroids, antibiotics, painkillers, radiation, chemotherapy. That's the arsenal in their war chest. Doctors and hospitals are great if you have an accident, if you break a bone, if you need a heart replacement or a lung replacement. What they're not good for is the things that lead up to those troubles, those everyday troubles for which people today go running to doctors, for which mothers go running to doctors. And this is my call to you to take control of yours and your family's health and not run to the doctors for everything. And in order to do that, you not only need to be a little bit knowledgeable, a little bit observant, you need to know a little bit about a few things, and that little bit will carry you forward a long way in life. It'll prevent the bigger diseases, the more chronic conditions from happening. And the biggest thing there is food. You cannot replace homeopathy, or you cannot replace food, good food, with homeopathy or acupuncture or allopathy or vitamins and supplements or pretty much anything else. So I would recommend that you make your food budget, call your food budget your medical budget. So you need good food in your life, particularly good fats, good animal fats. You need good ferments in your life, not the probiotic pills that you can buy in a capsule form, but real ferments that it takes virtually 10 minutes to make, and that contain a diverse array of massive amounts of ferments that are very good for your health, your mental health and your physical health. The third thing you need to know a little bit about is homeopathy, which is an art and a science, and fascinating, addictive. It is gentle, it is effective, it has long-lasting effects, and it is so natural it almost feels as though your body recovered itself, which it really does, because homeopathy is the science or the medicine of revitalizing your force, your basic life force, in order for your body to continue the curative action itself, because your body is probably the most insanely complex, intelligent doctor you could have hired to do the job of managing your health. And so I wanted to show you what we have done by way of resilience in homeopathy, and by entertaining you and showing you my homeopathy stash. And I just organized it today, so I'm rather proud of it. 2 drawers full, and I'll walk you through it. So here goes. These here are cell salts. These cell salts are wonderful. Let me wear my glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing. So as you can see, I have them 1 through 11. And I think there's one missing someplace. But I've got Cal-Phos, Ferrum-Phos, Kali-Phos, Calphos if you have debility, great debility, long-term chronic disease, ferrum phos for high fevers, for low hemoglobin counts, Kali Mur, Kali Phos if you are nervous, if you have nervous fatigue, if you are anxious, depressed, tired. Did I say anxious? Yes. Kali Sulf, Mag Phos for spasmodic pains, whether it's hiccups or twitching of your eyelids or cramps or menstrual cramps or Charlie horses. This is another good one, Nat Phos for concussions. If you fall and hit your head, take this by all means several times a day. I also have very low potencies of a couple of remedies. This is great for hemoglobin, to increase your hemoglobin levels. Actually, a smaller potency would have been good. They just didn't have it. Here we have Belladonna. This is what I use for my Banerjee cataract protocol because I have congenital cataracts. So I use Belladonna 6X and Calcarb 200 to ameliorate my condition. And it has helped me with some allergies. I can eat fruit that I couldn't eat before. So homeopathy acts in very strange and very wonderful ways. And you know, you had this problem and all of a sudden you find that you do not have this problem. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for watching. The other remedies I have put in alphabetical order with a rubber at the bottom, and I've cut off old cardboard boxes with a knife, as you can see, to make little trays. And hi, Jama. Howdy. And this is how I have kept it in my drawer. Now, I could stack these trays, this tray upon this tray, and if I need to, I will do that as well. But for now, my remedies are open, visible to me. So that's about 100 remedies. That's 50 remedies, so 150. Plus, maybe that's another 50, 200. This is 215 remedies. I have some smaller remedies here, so that's about 230 remedies here. Let me open the next drawer, and this is my stash of remedies from Washington Homeopathy. They go from Aconitum napellus, 6X, 1M, Asculus hippocystamine, Aetheusa for milk intolerance, Ambra grisea for a lot of sort of nervous type conditions, coughs that happen only in the presence of others. Antimonium crudum, that's for skin conditions. Arsenicum album, wonderful remedy for food poisoning. Or metallicum, a great remedy for grief. I know I'm skipping some of them, but I'm calling out the important ones. Barita carbonica, this is for problems in old age or debility or great fragileness. Bellis perennis is the long-term arnica. So this is if you've had a hit or a hurt or a bruise for a long time and you forgot to take arnica, this will help cure that long-term bruised muscle, deep internal injury to your muscle or swelling. Bovista, this is for butterfingers. If you drop things, it's for sealing and healing your gut. Bromium, this is a great Banerjee protocol, Bromium 6C for hypothyroidism. Calcarb, various potencies of calcarb I have. And then we have a whole bunch of other remedies. So, and this is calendula lotion, calendula tincture for if we ever get wounded, hurt. And these are very, very important. So that was about 215 remedies. I'm going to say this is 3 and 3, 6 and 3, 12, 3 to 36. So that's about 50, 60. So I have about 300 remedies in all. And folks, with 300 remedies, I should be able to pretty much handle most of my family's problems. That's a pretty comprehensive array of remedies. Each of those was, you know, anything between $8 and $15. If you go to Rainbow Groceries and you're over 60, you get a 10% discount on remedies. I think if you buy a certain amount. And anyhow, you get a 10% discount if you're a senior citizen, so that's great. Look for discounts. I think Joette Calabrese, if you say the word Joette on Boiron, you get a 20% discount there. If you go to Washington Homeopathy and if you buy $100 worth of stuff, you get free shipping. So there's all sorts of deals out there. And what I would recommend if you want to build resiliency in your life is that learn a little bit about homeopathy. Learn how to make your own ghee so you don't have to buy $20, $30 ghee from the stores. Learn to cook a little bit. Learn to make your own salamis and prosciuttos. It's dead simple. Learn to make your own raw fermented meats. They are the source of life. They will cure all sorts of chronic conditions you were told there are no cures for. And this is food. Food is medicine. And as an adjunct to food, homeopathy is a great, great form of gentle, powerful, fast, effective, easy to learn, and very affordable medicine. What this will allow you to do is step away from a whole bunch of drugs that have that do incalculable harm to your body, to your soul, to your gut, to your mind, to your emotions. There are people who get suicidal on Prozac, and there have been so many suicides from taking drugs. People on heart attack medicines die from those remedies, from those medicines, allopathic medicines. You never see people taking homeopathic remedies dying from them. And so the way to think about life is that you have the most potent, the most powerful, the most intelligent life force in you. And what you want to do is build a moat around your body, around your life, around your soul that allows this life force, this vital force, to work at its best. When can it work at its best? When you're not in Hubei province, when you're not in China breathing in pollutants, when the air is fresh, when the water is clean, when your food is good, you're not eating food laced with herbicides and pesticides, then this vital force is lit and your body can pretty much handle anything and everything. When you're drinking raw milk, when you're eating, foods that are barely cooked and that have very high enzyme content, animal foods in particular. Plant foods, if you eat raw, there is some problem. So think about that before you try to go on these cleanses where you eat largely plant proteins or plant foods. Those are mighty dangerous for your gut, and what is dangerous for your gut is dangerous for your mind. I see too many people who were on very vegetable-y food, raw vegetable type food, who developed either diabetes or infertility or mental disease, and when they turned to meats, especially the rawer meats, their allergies went away, their IBS went away, their chronic disease went away, they got better. So in life, it is important to be objective. Before you go into the ethics of anything, whether something is good for the environment, see whether something is good for your body or not, and then go out and be ethical. Source the most ethical source of whatever it is that is good for your body, your mind, and your soul. And one of the best ways to build resiliency is to make yourself a homeopathic kit. The way I have gone about it is I have looked at my family, seen what kinds of conditions they have. Do they get hungry when they've not eaten? Do they tend to have headaches? Do they tend to get coughs, colds, flus? Do they tend to get bruised a lot? Are they very active and have sprained ankles or concussions? And accordingly, build up your toolkit. Build up your kit of homeopathic remedies, and when the day arrives, or when you have anaphylactic shock from a bee sting, you will have Apis 1M on hand. You will not need to go to an emergency room. You'll not need to be, injected with epinephrine and all the steroids and whatnot, or anti-shock drugs that are extremely toxic. You will have your solutions and your answers on hand. The thing to remember here is life is not easy, life is not simple. There's not one medicine for a headache in homeopathy. There are literally thousands of medicines in homeopathy for headache. So how do you figure out which the right one for you is? By reading, of course. By reading the Materia Medica, by reading repertories, by joining our study groups, our classes, and just by learning from others, from very, very legendary homeopaths who have generously given their knowledge to the whole world. I am prepared for COVID. I know that if my family gets sick from this disease, this illness, I will have all the right remedies. I have no fear. I don't do masks. I don't do pretty much any of the government mandated solutions, because I know that they are not, they will not protect me from disease, and they don't contribute to disease. What will protect me from disease is my immune system. What will protect me from disease is my vital force. And you have to look no further than the node of this great infection, the COVID infection, on the Diamond Princess, where only 17% of the people got the COVID. They were all living in close proximity. They were breathing each other's air. But who got infected? 17%. The question you want to ask yourself is not how the 17% got sick, but why the remaining 83% did not get sick. That's the question you got to ask yourself. And when you find the answer to that, you've got the golden key to self-reliance, to resilience, and to building your own homeopathy kit. So please tell me what you have in your kits down under. I would love to learn. I would love to learn what people do for babies, for teenagers, for pregnant mothers, for senior citizens, for people with certain conditions. And let's share our knowledge and be rational, reasonable, and well prepared. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.